racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Barn Grill. I'm Mike Heads. Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Monday, August the 22nd races. Yes, Monday. And first post is 5 o'clock on Monday, 5:00 for our seven-race program. The Peony is up and running at the time, but
not on Monday.
Not on the Mondays. The Peony is, the rides and everything are down, but the racing is up, and we do have 7 races. Hopefully a big C this guy pick 6 carryover heading into it, but we do have a great card anyway. We do have 2 stakes races, great prep races. We do have a prep for the BC Oaks, which is called the Hong Kong Jockey Club, and then the Sir Winston Churchill Derby Trial is the BC Derby prep for the 3-year-old colts, and both races will be going on the 16th. We have 2 starter series races that are heading into the $50,000 final. It'll also be run on September the 10th, which is Derby Day and Oaks Day as well. So lots of
very nice card,
stuff tonight. It's a great card that Nichelle Milner's put together, and should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good card for our first Monday. And let's get right into it. The first is a part of the starter series. This one is, as Mike mentioned, there's 2 tonight. There's 1 for the boys. This one's for the girls' end. 6 of them line up in the very first race, that optional, the starter race for a horse that started for $8,000 or less. I went to Pretty Reckless. She was absolutely the boss of this race, this series this year. Got caught late by Wild Rose of Texas last time. That was going long. Now they're back to a sprint. For me, Pretty Reckless prevails in here. She'd won 4 straight going into that last race. Still only got beat a couple of lengths, or like a little over a length, by Wild Rose of Texas. Now back to a sprint. I'm all over Pretty Reckless. Put Wild Rose of Texas in the 2nd spot. She looked very good going long. Now it's back to a sprint, so she does have that shorter race to contend with, but still a very talented filly. And I put Stormstalker, the other Jody Rawson horse, who just won her non-3 comfortably by over 5 lengths in her latest, and she's coming in good form. I went 3, 1, and 4.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty Reckless is the horse to beat. The only ones that can beat her are the Jody Rawson runners. Wild Rose of Texas is Stormstalker, but Pretty Reckless looks pretty solid in this race.
Yeah.
And she, didn't get the best of trips going long last time, but she's back into her best distance, the 6.5 furlong. Not that she can't route. She can route, but
she's just better sprinting.
Just better sprinting. She's been really good. And Wild Rose of Texas and Stormstalker will keep her honest, though. So 3, 4, 1 for me in the Monday opener. On to race number 2. We do have 3 nut maidens here, $4,000 claimers, going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up in the 3 Noonday Sun. I think this horse got enough out of that first race to make himself, a big factor. He, obviously finished behind Red Rory and PB Bolt, and those 2 kind of might hook up on the head end.
And that was his first race, right?
Yeah. He walked out of there a bit and leaving the gate, and I just think there's room for improvement. I like taking horses that have maybe, I look at horses like Born a Champ, One Time, and Requested Kiss, I'm looking at first-time starters and just looking at everyone that's lightly raced anyway, rather than the ones that like PB Bolt and Red Rory that have run a lot. Maybe PB Bolt and Red Rory run 1-2, but I mean, sometimes these races you can get some pretty good prices if you just kind of be patient, look at the race, ignore the fact that they, some of these horses have good, decent form, but because they're running against inferior horses, and sometimes these debut runners can be pretty live, so it might be worth looking at. But I went 3, 8, 6. I think Red Rory's pretty live, and Red PB Bull. 3, 8, 6 for me.
I got the same horse. It's just different order. I put Red Rory on top. I thought Adams River one was a big dropper last time. Came in the $4,000 level. Went to the lead. Never looked back. He couldn't quite catch him. But after chasing a fast horse like that, I was impressed that he did hang on for second. Just didn't totally give up. So I got him on top of PB Bolt, who figures in here a Noonday Sun. Same horses for me, just different order. 8, 6, and 3 for me in the second. On to the third. Non-winners of the year going 6.5 furlongs, 4 older boys. And I went to the outside here, Similkameen Joey. I don't see a lot of pace on in here. He's breaking from the outside. He's going to get the lead. He's going to be tough to catch. Similkameen Joey's my horse. Stratify coming off a good second at the 62.50 level behind a well-meant Fleming's Beach. Stratify ran a big race that day. It was only a week ago, so if he can bounce back in a week, he's got the back class, that's for sure. And after some dull efforts, it's good to see him run a big race because he does have the class to do it, and he could project well in here. And I put a newcomer, Persisting for Taylor Anderson in here, a horse that he claimed from Turf Paradise this winter, making his first start here. And he's shown he can string wins together. He's 5 for 19 lifetime in the win column, so that's good enough for me. I put him in the third spot. 8, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
in a race where you can make a case for a few of them.
Well, Similkameen Joy's the horse that beat.
Yeah,
if this
absolutely.
horse clears it, he wins. I mean, Similkameen Joy's the best horse on paper. This horse has been running 16 and change before. And he's the best horse, and if he doesn't get hung 3 or 4 wide, he wins. So I'm going to go Similkameen Joy to defeat the 4. I keep taking after
Old
court.
after court.
Old after court. He keeps getting tough trips, but maybe not good enough to get into a good spot. But I put after court in for second and Stratify. I agree with you. That was a good runner-up effort last time. He's a pretty dangerous horse. I'm going to eat 4 and 5 in the third race. On to the fourth. The Hong Kong Jockey Club Handicap Mile and the 16th. We got no Snuggles, which is interesting.
No Snuggles or Chianti.
Yeah,
who ran second in the last leg, both
that
swift
makes
horses.
things definitely very interesting. The field is 7 going in that 8.5 furlong distance, and Cito Claire is the horse to beat, but I'm going to try Omi. I think this horse can route.
Yeah. I can see that,
Hippie
yeah.
interests me. I mean, Hippie interests me a lot too. I mean, it's just.
You picked Hippie.
I know. Hippie's an interest. Well, Cito Claire is the horse that.
Yeah,
bar none. Horse to beat. I mean, the
win,
horse is
yeah.
the best. But what do you know? The horse is not at her best at a mile and 16. She's at her best going 6.5.
Yeah.
There's no more 6.5s. So she does get rid of Snuggles, but how much is those races taken out of her? So I'm going to try Hippie. I know he just ran for 25 grand, but the horse, at least the horse got a win. Is one that can probably move forward off of that race. She's bred to run long. I'll try Hippie. It's maybe not the most brilliant pick, but I want to try someone to defeat Cito Claire. Because I could just see this horse. I was really disappointed with the fact that Cito Claire, after battling in the head end, didn't get by Chianti. Yeah. And that's the one thing that bugs me about Cito Claire. Is she the best horse in this race on paper? Yes, by far. But this horse couldn't beat Chianti last time, and that bothers me. She's not the same Cito Claire. Yeah. So if she's just 80% of Cito Claire, then horses like Hippie, Omi, anyone comes into play, and I'm going to try Hippie. I went 6-4-1.
I went with Cito Claire, as Mike mentioned.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't not pick her, right? She looks like the horse to
Oh,
beat, so I'm putting her on top.
You cannot pick her. I was dumb enough.
I put her on top of Omi. Omi's another one I think will stretch out nicely. She's a Rosberg, and she could get away from him. So I put her in the second spot. That's the one they're going to have to run down. Reyes has rode a few of these fillies before. Right. He rode Chianti last time. I think Dino tried to give him the best other one, and he gave him Omi, and I think Omi's going to be tough. And I put Victorious. This is the interesting one for me.
Yeah, hers was flying.
Still a maiden, but she came from dead last in a boys maiden special weight. Made a huge move last time. She was full of run. She is going to like the distance. She's a half to Majestic Presence. Interesting horse there. For a bit of a price, I'm throwing her in the third spot. I went 4, 1, and 7 in the 3-year-old filly stake, the Hong Kong Jockey Club. On to the fifth, boys' turn for the starter series. This is a race where you can make a case for a lot of them.
Toughie.
I mean, too bad we can only pick
all
3
over the map
because
here.
I left nice horses out. I went with Prince Hotel. I tried to beat him last time in that long race with Shoe Swap, who ran a big race, but Prince Hotel did get up to beat him. Now he goes back to a sprint. Jody Rawson has been pressing all the right buttons this year. I got Prince Hotel on top. I went back to Shoe Swap. Going back to a sprint, I think he's going to be dangerous for Rob Gilker. As I mentioned, I picked him last time. He was 6-1, and he did just get caught by Prince Hotel late, but he's dangerous. And I put Citron Kid, who's been right there all year. He's been running very big races, and he won over Step Up for the Money last time. Step Up for the Money came back to win the marathon on BC Cup Day. He's won sprinting. He's run going long. Really cool horse for Praven Sorensen. I put him in the third spot. I'm leaving off Sir Barclay, who's very much in play.
Yeah, he's
Western
live.
Heritage. Nana's Buddy's been right there all year. Proxy Man, Fleming's Beach, Lassie's Reward. You can make this is an all-button race.
I left Prince Hotel out.
You left Prince Hotel out.
I know, how stupid am I?
I went 7, 2, and 4.
I went to Shoe Swap. This horse is going to get the lead.
I like Shoe Swap.
He's just going to hug the rail and, run by him if he can. He's live in here. He couldn't hold his speed going a mile and 16th. He got pressured.
But valiantly. I mean, gave it up begrudgingly. Still only got
Prince Hotel beat him, but Prince Hotel had to exhaust himself to beat him. I just think going 6.5, Shoe Swap's going to be really dangerous. That's his distance. He's not a route horse. Well, he could be at the right level, but he just better 6.5 furlong horse. I got to take him to win it. Last season Reward might get a nice trip just in behind the speed. He was out there chasing the pace last time. That's not what he wants to do. I think being covered up in behind the speed might be the best thing for him. And the 5-horse Western Heritage, I don't want to give up on him. He's a nice, cool horse.
Yeah.
That race 2-back was way too good. He's reunited with Rico Walcott. That's important to me. And this horse was like running through a bridle run way faster than the other half of the split that day.
That was a big race he ran.
Western Heritage is a solid horse, and perhaps being hooked up with Rico might get him back to that
He might not like the distance
form.
either. Now he gets back to a 6.5
Yeah, no, mile
race,
16 was not for him, but he wasn't even showing speed. I mean, this horse was, I don't know what happened last time, but it was a mess. But you're right, Sir Barkley, we've left out. I have, and I've left
make a
Prince
case for
Hotel.
everybody.
I've left a lot of horses out
You
that
can
are
make a case
live
for everybody in
here.
the race, I think. I think you make a
Citron
case for
Kid I
everybody.
left out. He's got a route horse, but I mean, Prince Hotel, you know, you think the bubble's got to burst here, but Jody's done a great job with him. 4 wins in a row, but you know, he's getting the right ride. Richard's riding this horse super and getting perfect trips, and this horse is winning, but we'll see if he continues. But I'm going to go 2, 1, and 5 in race number 5. On to the 6th race, the Sir Winston Churchill Derby Trial. 8 3-year-old colts on their way to the BC Derby after this. Going a mile on the 16th. The 2 Opportunistic is obviously your horse to beat. He has been a cleverly positioned horse, getting him up from Santa Anita where he was struggling a little bit. Get him up here to Hastings. He defeated Lord Vancouver, who came back to win the next 3-year-old stake race. And then he went down to win the Emerald Derby. And that was pretty impressive. Opportunistic is a perfect 2 for 2 since coming up
Leaving
to the
Santa Anita,
Northwest. And he's a neat horse. And it looks like there is a bit of speed in here with Dashing Dawn. You got Silvertown. You got the 7-horse Omega Victory.
Yeah.
Colterberry will be up on the pace as well. I know it was off the pace sprinting, but he's going to be on the pace going along, I would think. But Opportunistic's your horse. In second spot, you know, it was tough to find Silvertown. I got to give the horse another shot.
Yeah.
The Silvertown was, you know, a good third last time over chasing the pace in the Emerald Derby. I think those are your 2 horses, the 2 horses coming out of the Emerald Derby. I went 2-4 and I put Always Sunny in for third. I was pretty impressed with his 5th place run in the BC Cup Stellar's J. There was no pace on up front. They went 24 and crazy, 24-3, 48-2. The speed horses had all the advantage. And this horse still only gave me 2 lengths for all the money. I thought he was the best out of anyone coming out of the Richmond Derby trial, and the BC Cup Stellar's J. I put him in for third, but Opportunistic's your horse, 2-4-3.
Yeah, I agree. I got Opportunistic on top. That race, I was really impressed with that race in the Crystal House Theater. They're absolutely walking up front. He was
He's
dead
looped the field.
last.
He looped the field.
Dead last. Or they 24 and 149, and won pretty comfortably going away from Lord Vancouver.
That's good.
Then he comes back. He beats undefeated Barkley, a really
Barkley's
nice
a
horse.
Nice, Howard Belvoir's
in
horse. It's
Seattle.
a nice
He's
horse.
undefeated until Opportunistic went down. They fought the whole way, and he bested him by a head. It's all Opportunistic for me. I put Stanza Command in the second spot. He comes out of the
He's
Stellar
a
Day
nice
too.
horse. He's
Very consistent, kind of a little Rodney Dangerfield horse. Never gets a whole lot of respect, but a big race last time. As you mentioned, that race 24-3, 48-2, and still closed into it. Only gets beat a length and a quarter by Lord Vancouver, who we should mention is going to the Canadian Derby on Sunday.
Saturday.
Is that Saturday? Sorry, Saturday. Stands in command for me in the second spot in Silvertown. Been knocking on the door since he's been here. He's been running big races. Been getting beat, but he's running big races since he arrived here from Kentucky for Swift Thoroughbreds. I got him in the third spot. 2-5-4 for me in the Derby trial. On the nightcap, 4,000 non-3 4 fillies and mares. Field of 8 here.
Monday night program.
I landed on Texas Alley Cat looking for Troy Taylor to round out the late double. Took the big drop into 4 non-2 last time and did it fairly comfortably. They don't get aggressive with her again, just right back into a 4 non-3. I think she's got the talent to do it. I put Lady Cash in the second spot. Won a non-2 4,000 fairly comfortably the day she was claimed by Frank Barabee. Then he's headed up in the 12-5 category. Just got beat by Winning Edge of the 12-5 category. Now she's back into a 4 non-3. She fits well in here. I got her in the second spot. And I put Cadeo in the third spot. Good second behind Catch and Fire last time. Catch Fire just caught her late, but she's from on the rail. Arojo sticks with her. She's going to be tough to catch. I went 6-2 and 1.
I see a pile of speed in here. I just see the one Cadeo going. I see the 4 Rocket Store definitely going, Texas Alley Cat going. I just see a lot of pace in here. I'm gonna try and make the 5-horse Biscuit a winner. I know this is not her best distance, but I know she won last time going at the non-2 level. But I just think Biscuit's gonna get a pretty good pace to run into. The 3-horse Bullet is dangerous as well. Returning, this horse.
Biscuit and Bullet, the 2 old Swift horses.
Yeah, that's right too. They're both Swift and Dino Condolino's horses, Biscuit and Bullet. But Bullet, I thought it better than the luck race last time. Was a little on the outside and might get a better trip. Jeff Birmingham re-rides for Frank Barry, being up at the 1-horse Cadeo, the speedy runner, in for third. I went 5, 3, and 1. I just see a lot of pace going on up front.
I want somebody running light.
And I want a closer in the race. I went 5, 3, and 1 in the Monday afternoon, or actually twilight
Evening,
card
yes.
finale. That'll do it for our recap of the Hastings races on the Monday night program. Let's have a look at our quick
Picks.
recap. Back in race number 1, I did go to the 3-horse. Pretty Reckless, 3-1-4. Race number 2, I went to the 3, Noonday Sun, 3, 8, and 6. Race number 3, I went to the 8, Samilka Mean Joey on the class drop, 8, 4, and 5. Race number 4, this is the Hong Kong Jockey Club Handicap, the final race before the BC Oaks. And I tried the 6, Hippie, 6, 4, and 1. Race number 5, this is the Starter Series, 2, 1, and 5 for me, but a very tough and a very competitive Starter Series. In the 6th race, this is the Sir Winston Churchill Derby Trial. I went to the 2, Opportunistic. Perfect 2 for 2 since coming north. 2, 4 for 3 for me in the Derby Trial. In race number 7, the finale, I went 5, 3, and 1. I like Biscuit. 5, 3, 1 for me, on to Drew.
Back in the first time with Mike on number 3, Pretty Reckless over the 1 and the 4. In the second, I went to the 8, Red Rory over the 6 and the 3. In the third, number 8, Samilka Mean Joey over the 5 and the 3. In the fourth, the 3-year-old filly stake, I went to the 4,Cio de Claire over the 1, Omi, and the 7, Victress. In the fifth, the boys' turn for the Starter Series, I went to the 7, Prince Hotel. He's been a perfect 5 for 5 in his last 5 races, looking for 6 of 6 with over the 2, Shuswap, and the 4, Citron Kid. In the 6th, the Derby Trial, I went to the 2, Opportunistic over the 5, Stands in Command, and the 4, Silvertown. And in the nightcap, I went to the 6, Texas Alley Cat over the 2 and the 1.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to the Monday, August the 22nd edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. A quick reminder, our next live card will be Friday night. We do have 2 stakes races on the August 26th program on Friday night. They have the CTHS sales stake for 2-year-old colts and geldings, the young horses that were bought out of the sale, and of course the other division will be for the fillies. Any horses that were bought out of the CTHS sale are eligible. So a lot of young, promising runners. Their prep races before, well, they're not prep races, it's all $50,000 on the line for both, but before the Jack Diamond and Sadie Diamond Futurities. So it's a real crunch time for the young superstars on the racetrack right now, but it would be a lot of fun Friday night watching some 2-year-old stake stars on Friday. August the 26th will be our next live card. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. We'll see you next time here on Handicapper's Corner at the Derby Bar.